It's a bright day, and every bright day comes with its own blessing. It's beautiful, and of course, it's an excellent day. This is a very bright day, and it's our pleasure to have you join us this morning on Global Television, reaching your live and direct from the nation's capital, Abuja. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo, and of course, I'm being joined today with Jumai Manson after a very long time.
Hey.
She is joining me on Global Morning today. It's good to have you join us, Jumai.
Yeah, it's great to be here, and to all our viewers out there, good morning to each and every one of you. And of course, it's a beautiful Wednesday morning, and I'm doing it side by side with no other person than the amazing Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Good morning again.
Good morning. Well, it's been a very, they said it is the women's world.
Yeah, this is Women Crush Wednesday.
Oh, Women Crush Wednesday.
Yeah.
So what happens to the men? When is the men's day? Is it Old School Thursday? You want to give that to the men?
Of course, old school, old school, old school.
Well,
That's funny. That's funny.
They said it's Women Crush Wednesday.
Yes, it is.
So as it is right now, anything that is being crushed on, it means that thing is appealing, admirable, and of course is something that at least we come up with some form of profit, because almost everybody on earth today do things that will profit them,
of course,
especially in this part of the world. But it's so good that women are taking the front stage. You know, in politics, you know, there's been an agitation that the women should also be given places in the polity.
Very important.
And of course, we are having a few of them, but the women seems not to be still satisfied with the fact that they have not gotten to certain positions. Probably they are waiting to see when they will become Senate president. You know,
it's really a good thing. But the most important thing is, I think all women are fighting for is inclusion. We just want to be included in policy making and all of that. It's very important because, you know, we spice it up. When a woman is, let there be, if there are 10 men or 5 men, a woman just, there's that uniqueness she brings. She brings that motherly role. She's empathetic, she's sympathetic. There's just something she brings on that table that is very unique and is worthwhile. So it's very important that women should be recognized. Women should be looked at.
The recognition is already there. I think we should leave that to the women world anchors. Maybe they'll pick it up from there. Kike and Co will pick it up from there. Now, let's go talk about some of the things happening in the polity. Some of the things are trending right now. We can't stop talking about the People's Democratic Party, the saga. It was, I don't know, I'm just looking for the adjective to describe the actions coming from people who have once ruled this nation for 16 years. And with these happenings, one of the things that a lot of Nigerians are surprised about is, are these the kind of leaders that we have? Because any father, of course, that cannot take care of his own family any man at all will be looked at as being irresponsible sometimes. That's what the society will say. But in a situation whereby a political party that has ruled for 16 years and one of their members said they were going to be there for 60, 70 years, are now having this kind of issue. When 2027 is already around the corner, every Nigerian thought that everything would have been over after the convention in Oyo State, Ibadan, and of course, but what we are seeing, there is a different twist altogether to the whole scenario. The Wike faction, the Turaki faction, in fact, the Abubakar faction, the factions are so much. I don't know how many factions that we have right now, all right? But the way it is, I think it's a global embarrassment, okay, for us to see our leaders fight shamelessly, you know, and this is being covered around the world. And there is a way this puts us on the global map, and of course, the image of Nigeria is at stake at this level, because these are same people that were in government. This is the same party that ruled Nigeria as a country for 16 years.
Oh, yes.
You know, and we are having the same people in that same party behaving like this, fighting. Someone will tell you, when you see kids fighting, it is easy, all right? It's easier to separate than adults fighting.
Very true.
The fights of adults don't end easily. Like what happened yesterday. You bring your own security operatives, another security operatives will come and send them away. Then, you know, then Wike himself walked in there, and of course, we all saw what happened. There was a banner saying Wike leads and others follow.
That's true.
You know, but all of this put together, what I am even scared of, the pity is the Nigerian people. So what exactly can we say of our government, of people in governance, people leading us, our leaders? What kind of example are they leaving for the upcoming generation?
You know, Ramsey, it's just unfortunate that what was meant to be a routine engagement, you know, PDP coming together, it's a routine, you know, you come together, when you have political parties, you come together, you sit, you dialogue and all of that. It was chaotic yesterday. You mentioned that. And then you said, let us look at the night. You know, there's people that are still hopeful when it comes to the People Democratic Party. There are people that they will never leave that group. No matter, let it turn upside down. Let it go south. There are individuals who are bent on being on that party. They look up to that party as, oh my goodness, we know that it will definitely come back to the limelight. We know that that party will still come back again with individuals trying to make it better. It doesn't matter how bad it will get. We have individuals who are loyalists who are there, but it's just unfortunate that this is heartbreaking when you see this sort of tussle, individuals in the same party, as in we're supposed to work together as a team to make it better, to see how the way forward, and then this happens with you know, the police, the tear gas, you know, different governors and all of that. It's just unfortunate. It's really sad. It's not inspiring
I think,
all.
okay, look at the pedigree of Samuel Anyanwu.
Exactly.
Look at Nyesom Wike.
Oh my, Seyi Makinde.
Look at Seyi Makinde.
Oh my goodness.
Look at Turaki. You know, look at Abubakar. The people we're talking about here are not just babies in the game.
No.
Or understand.
These are high
when you want to
caliber.
talk about throwing of tear gas, it is when there is maybe a chaos. Protest,
or,
you know, you want to disperse people.
Exactly.
Then use that. But for political parties to be having meetings, and this is happening, I think it's a part also, okay? It's a part also. But then, somebody asks a question, what exactly do these people want? Okay? Somebody like the FCT minister, I don't think he's even vying for any position right now as it is. I don't think he wants to field himself for any political position.
I don't think so either.
Under the auspice of the People's Democratic Party.
Well, you can never be sure though.
Well, 2027 is around the corner.
Yeah, you can never
but
be
with
sure.
the position he is right now, okay, as the FCT minister, I think two-time governor of
Yes.
Rivers State, almighty Rivers State, not just Rivers State, almighty Rivers State. This is one state that does not even care whether allocations are coming from the federal government or not, because it is self-sustaining.
Oh, yes, it is.
And somebody who has been a governor of this same state 2 times, and of course then become the FCT minister. Well, some people are speculating, it's a speculation, and it's allegedly said that it's as if the ruling party, have Wike in the People's Progressive, in the People's Democratic Party to maybe cause chaos. That's what some Nigerians are alleging, but I don't know. The truth is,
But that's the party that he's with. I don't think so. I beg to differ.
but Wike will
has
always
come out
tell
that
you
he's PDP.
he's a card-carrying member of the People's.
Yeah, he has always come out to say that.
How glad can someone be when his own party is in crisis? As a father of the house, or maybe a member of the house, a first son for that matter, or a first daughter, then your family is shaky, problem every day, quarrel every day. People are coming to settle quarrel. How comfortable can you be? Can you walk on the streets?
But looking at it, Ramsey, sometimes, it's not just the inner circle now. What are individuals outside that circle saying? These individuals want to come back to power, and yet there's this pedigree of misunderstanding in that particular party. You've not even settled the rift that you have in that party, and then you want to rule Nigeria. How possible? It's very degrading, I would say. But at the same time, there's no flame without fire. And at the same time, there's no family members that it's not agreement all the way. There's always disagreement. But it's better they settle it as quick as possible, so that individuals do not just lose that particular hope in which they have for the People's Democratic Party. And at the same time, the pedigree of individuals who are there, so they would not actually leave that party to another party. Because we see a lot when it comes to individuals joining the ADC. When I don't know, mention a few. I don't want to deviate, but you see, people are leaving for APC, ADC, PDP members, and it's just unfortunate.
And that's why some people are alleging that we are moving gradually to a one-party system, even though the presidency, the federal government have disagreed.
I always beg to differ before, but looking at things now,
the defection, we have just 8 governors in the People's Democratic Party as we speak, and you don't know who is going to leave
and
next.
That is the truth.
Someone have said, one of my colleague has said on the desk the other day, that if you hear today that Mufwang have moved to the All Progressive Congress, you shouldn't be surprised.
I don't think
and that's
I'll be
not
surprised
all. Look at what happened during the PDP crisis. One man that everyone will say, Bala Mohammed, of course, that everyone will say will always be standing. Look at the way he was treated as a governor of a state.
Really sad.
During the conflict, the drama at the Wadata House, the National Secretariat of the People's Democratic Party.
Just to add to what you've just said, Ramsey, I think most of these individuals who were in the PDP, these very strong individuals that were actually holding the party together, I don't think they really wanted to leave. I'm sure they left because they realized that there is no way forward, and their integrity at the same time. It's very important. I always say integrity is key. If individuals are looking up to you and the party in which you represent is not forthcoming, we're not making headway, I don't think it's right to even remain. It's better for you to, like you said, it is what it is.
But it's even better to leave when the ovation is high. But right now, for the People's Democratic Party, there is no even ovation, not to talk about the height of the ovation, whether it's high or low, or at the middle.
Let's not conclude yet. You don't know what can happen.
Let's just keep our fingers crossed and see what will actually happen. Let's take a quick break. When we return, the conversation continues.
Stay tuned.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Hello and welcome once again to Heart with Ramsey Enoch. Today, I just really want to encourage someone because we need to encourage ourselves. We need to be encouraged. Why do we need to encourage ourselves? Because everybody's capacity is not the same. What you can withstand is different from what I can withstand. There are ways you handle issues, situations of life that I don't even know at all. But we need to encourage ourselves. And that's showing love too. Because if I decide to encourage you, I'm trying to show love. Let me just say this, that courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes courage is the quiet voice at the end of the day spring. And I will try again tomorrow. This is coming from Mary Ann Radmacher. Courage, as it is often misunderstood as bold, dramatic, and being somebody that is full of action. Courage is beyond that. Courage is beyond that. All right, this is a misunderstanding, but then everyone is entitled to their thoughts. But I would like us also to know that courage is not always being bold, being dramatic, being able to talk, being able to look into everybody's eyes and tell them the truth. Courage is personal and unseen. It can be the decision to face a new day after a series of failure. Listen, I said courage, can be the decision to face a new day after a series of failure. You try, you failed. You try again, you failed. You try again, you failed. Most of the inventions that you see today is something that was done by some set of people. The first time they failed. The second time they failed. The third time. In fact, at the end of it, people were not believing in them anymore because they were already known to be failures. But then courage gave them the boldness. Courage gave them the mindset that we need to keep doing it until we get it right. We won't stop doing it. People will tell you, well, if you're doing the same thing the same way, you cannot get a different result. But it even takes courage for you to do different things, different ways, and get the result. Because after the first set of failure, you may just don't believe in yourself anymore. You may not have the courage to do it anymore because of what people will say. People around you might be saying so many things at a particular time. Some people may tell you, well, is it must you do this thing? But you want to get it right. They don't know what is the drive, what is behind it. So it doesn't matter how many times you fail. Have the courage to do it again. Give it a try. Do it a different way, but don't stop doing it until you get it. And that's the reason I said when we talk about courage, it can be the decision to face a new day after a series of failure. To speak up when it's hard or simply keep going, all right? Speaking out when it's hard. When no one believes in you, you still keep speaking it because you know that, yes, if you have the courage to say it, if you can say it, you can seize it. That's what courage is. So what do you have to do? You should know that courage is also to simply keep going when everything in you says stop, stop, stop. Human beings are saying stop. The circumstance is saying stop. The economy is saying stop. Everything is saying stop. Even your body system is saying stop because you've done it over and over and over and over again. But then you have the courage. You are a courageous man, you are a courageous woman, and you have a target, you have a pursuit, you have a result that you're working towards. And you say, no, I'm not going to stop until I get to the end. I'm not going to stop until I get the result. That is how a courageous man moves. That is how a courageous woman moves and think. Whatever I say as far as this speech, this inspirational, this heart-to-heart discussion is concerned, I want you to know that your mentality needs to be up and doing. Your mental ability matters. A lot of things will want to stop you. The economy is fighting. It could even be people within your cycle. Do you know how many people are smiling with you today, but they go behind to say different things? Do you know how many people are flaunting themselves around you today? Do you know how many people are condemning you behind? Even if you get to know these things, because there is something you are after, something positive, you don't need to stop. You need to build courage and keep going. Even when everybody said enough is enough, you don't stop. Even when everybody is saying, hey, come on, must you die doing this thing? Tell them. You will achieve your aim in life and destiny. And that's the reason we need to be courageous in everything that we do. I'm not talking about hypocrisy right now. I'm not talking about sycophancy. Trying to do what you know you cannot do. That's not what I'm saying. But when you have a vision, when you have a dream, when you have a pursuit, no matter the darkness, no matter how things are getting very difficult, no matter how there are signs telling you to stop, you don't have to stop. Have the courage to go. Don't care what people will say. Because whatever you do, people must say something, whether positive or negative. So what do you have to do? Just keep pushing. Be courageous and know that everything pointing to you stopping should not stop you. Be courageous. Let me let you know also that courage lives in persistence. In silent strength, there is courage. And in the everyday struggle of the ordinary people trying to do the right thing. This quote beautifully captures the essence of quiet bravery. Courageous people are not noisemakers, but they are determined people. They want it done and they want it done. No matter the obstacles, they want it done. They might not be noisemakers. They might not be talking every time, but they are brave people, very intelligent people. And I also like to let you know that the quotes that I spoke about earlier acknowledge that sometimes the most heroic act is not found in battle cries, but in the determination to keep trying, courageously trying. Everyone has days when they feel defeated or lost. You are down, your system, you keep pushing your system, you can't do it anymore. Someone once told me a story about the army officers when they are doing press up, and they do it to a point that their body system can't carry them anymore. What carries them at that point is their heart and their mind. You see them keep pressing on. So what am I trying to say? Be courageous in everything that you do, especially if you know that it is the right thing. Choose to rise, not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. Thank you very much for listening to us today on Heart to Heart. It's good for us to talk heart to heart. There are some things people can't tell you ordinarily, but then when you listen and watch Heart to Heart, you get to hear those things that will keep you going to help you achieve your daily target, your monthly target, and your yearly target, and the courage to keep moving, achieving what you need to achieve in life. Many thanks for watching Heart to Heart today. My name once again is Ramsey Enoch. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye for now.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and international.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is Global Morning on Global Television, and at about this time is the newspaper review segment, and we're going to start with the first paper of the day. It's the Daily Monitor, and above the nameplate it says here, Nigeria's inflation rate eases to 16.05% in October, and that's from the NBS. Now below the nameplate, it says here, the first caption says, tension as Turaki-led PDP NWC Wike fraction schedule NEC BOT meeting at the same venue, and that you will find that read on page 8. And on page 6 of the Daily Monitor, it says, ASU faults slow pace of dialogue with federal government, warns of another strike. And on page 4, it says, we've grown Nigerian digital broadcast subsector by 35%, and that's from NICOMSAT, and that you will find on page 4. Now, on page 5 of the Daily Monitor, it says court awards 100 million naira damages against IGP PSC over interference in Osun local government polls. Now, the Star story reads, bandits attack. Federal government vows swift rescue of Kebbi school girls. And the rider, we have 4 riders there. And the first rider says reaffirms commitment to citizen safety. The second reads, Atiku condemns Kebbi school attack, says Nigeria cannot continue on this path. And I completely agree. Now, PDP ADC demand rescue of adopted schoolgirls. And the last rider reads, police deploy operatives, combed forest for adopted Kebbi students. Now, on the foot of the Daily Monitor, it reads, Tinubu to judges, we can't build a just society without a fearless, functional judiciary. And that is it on the Daily Monitor. Please go out and get yourself a copy and well abreast with the news making rounds. And next paper, Ramsey, over to you.
Thank you very much. Let's get to the Daily Trust newspaper this morning and see the headlines that we have. Below the nameplate on the Daily Trust newspaper, we have this headline which says, Federal government inches towards inflation targets. Taraba Speaker, 15 PDP lawmakers defect to APC. The defection still happening. Well, we've talked about that. But then, I don't know. I'm not even surprised because more defections may still happen.
Of course.
Because the Nigerian leadership believes in greener pasture. Just like you will see people jackpine out of Nigeria looking for greener pasture. Same way, they jackpine from one party to the other in search of greener pasture. So I'm not surprised. Don't be surprised to see more defections coming from other parties to the All Progressive Congress. Media veteran Dan Agbese dies at 81. May his gentle soul rest in peace. Now to the big story on the Daily Trust newspaper. Dozens of schoolgirls abducted in Kebbi. I think this is a repeat of the Chibok girls.
Yeah, exactly.
Nigerians have not really recovered from the Chibok girls, and we're having this situation right now. And the number of girls that were abducted, we don't have the full accurate number yet. Sometimes some people are saying 23, some people are saying it's more, some people are saying it's not up to. But then abduction, I don't know. People should not even be abducted at all. You can imagine the trauma the family is going through right now, family of those girls, and even the vice principal that was shot. Because, you know, sometimes you can't imagine yourself just watching little girls being abducted.
No.
So as it is, the government have promised, of course, that those girls are going to be returned back to their families. And we're keeping our fingers crossed to see how swift that promise will be. I'm moving away from there. I think those are the headlines that we have on the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. Over to you as we go through the next paper.
All right, the next paper here, we have the Peak newspaper. And above the nameplate, it says Northern States Governors Forum condemns kidnapping of 25 students and murder of vice principal in Kano. Now, this is Kano now. It's happened. The first was in the one you read right
Kebbi.
now, with Kebbi State, of course, which is an unfortunate incident that happened there. Now it's happening in Kano. And so we do not know. Some people will say, where are we going to? We've not recovered, like you said, from the Chibok girls incidents, but hopefully the needful is done. Now, beside that, it says ex-finance commissioner demands clarity on Abia revenues. Now, below the nameplate of the Peak newspaper Nigeria, and the Star story reads, hackers breach phones of Dangote or Tedola in ransom attack. That's a big one. Like, seriously, are they kidding me right now? Hackers will go all out. They'll go all out. Now, for our big icons when it comes to Dangote and Tedola, this is serious. If their phones can be breached, who are we?
Well, these boys,
For
but
real.
then I still
my
keep thinking
goodness.
about it. Where is this creativity coming from?
I do not know.
That's using creativity the wrong way.
The wrong way, that's
You know,
true.
this is something that if harnessed, if used the proper way, it's going to yield more results. Instead of going this shortcut. Okay, look at the target.
Exactly.
Look at the people
Seriously.
they are targeting.
Yeah, and you know what? You know, that's why sometimes I always revert to the outside the shores of Nigeria. When you come to the US, you know, United Kingdom and all of these places, once they find out that you're a hacker, they put you into use. They actually bring you into the system to help solve cases. Like they bring you into the FBI, into the police, so you can use that talent in which you have for the greater good of the environment. It won't just, because with all of these now, these individuals are doing it the wrong way. And once they are caught, that is, of course, you know what happens. It's just
Immediate
unfortunate.
money.
Immediate money that will not last.
Well,
and
it
then
can't
when you
last.
are caught, then what happens next?
You go into the nets.
Exactly.
And
So-
you will go in for it. They will go in
They
for
will
it,
go
not
in-
you.
No. No way. All right, now let's move on. And below the nameplate, it says here, FG condemns attack, vows to rescue adopted Kebbi schoolgirls. Yes, of course you heard the statement of the chief of Mr. who came out and said that they're going all out when it comes to this particular rescue, combing all the forests. And I hope the needful is done as soon as possible. It's just unfortunate. You don't want to imagine what the parents of these girls are going through. You know, the Chibok girls, the experience that happened there was a very big experience. A lot of individuals refused to take their children into boarding school because they didn't know what the security situation of Nigeria will be. So that fear, and now that fear has come again. So it's just unfortunate. Hope it's nipped into the bud as soon as possible. Now, U.S. begins African rollout of new HIV prevention drug. And of course, that's big of hope when it comes to the health sector there. And it says family raises alarm over missing Lagos teacher. And that is it on the Peak newspaper, Nigeria. Go out and get yourself a copy and be well abreast with the issues making round. And next is the Vanguard. Over to you, Ramsey.
All right, let's quickly look at the Vanguard newspaper this morning and see what we have there. On the Vanguard newspaper, a couple of headlines there. The first one above the nameplate, it says, Nigeria, 19 countries at high risk of debt distress. This is coming from IMF. I think this is worth talking about because we're still taking loans.
Yes,
and
we
said
are.
Nigeria and 19 other countries at high risk of debt distress. Akan insists there's Christian genocide in Nigeria. Beavers ended voters' impersonation, but network gaps persist. This is coming from INEC chairman. There's Amopitan talking right there. These are issues, things that we need to settle before the 2027 election. Afe Babalola to NUC clamp down on illegal varsities. And now to the big story. PDP leadership tussle. Wike governors clash as police fire tear gas. We talked about that already. Some riders to that story, and the first rider says, Turaki Mohammed seek international help to save opposition. Wike stays in his vehicle as police rain tear gas. Turaki postponed PDP National Working Committee meeting to today. Says Nigeria's democracy in grave danger. All right. Another one here said Shetima heads to Kebbi as Tinubu vows rescue of kidnapped students. That's very important. One rider to that story. And the rider says condemns killing of General Uba. General Uba, the man the general that was killed. A lot of stories coming from there. Nigerians are still wondering why that should happen in the first place. How my husband was killed by bandits, vice principal's wife. AFCON, Chile draws 3 new players to Super Eagles. Axis 3 after World Cup qualifiers. Nigeria's external reserve rises to $46 billion, highest in 7 years. Reps seek to lower eligibility age for governors, senators to 30. Would they accept it? Would that bill see the light of the day? Well, let's see how that is going to go. If it happens, it will be a welcome development.
Oh, yes.
All right, let's move to the next paper, which is The Guardian.
All right, now the Guardian newspaper, and below the nameplate of the Guardian newspaper, it reads, House in rowdy session over INEC's power to monitor party activities. And that you will find on page 3. Now, the next says, UN world leaders demand faster action on Paris Agreement. And that news you will find on page 3 of The Guardian. Now, beside that is page 7, and it says, ASU rejects FG's proposed salary increment. And like I said, it's on page 7, that particular read. And the Star Story says, fears of one-party drift intensify as PDP crisis worsens, turns violent. And you will find that read on page 6. Now below that it says, Biafra lobby network fueling Christian genocide campaign in US. And that read you will find on page 3. And here it says on page 4, internet users suffer global disruptions, prolonged glitches. And that is true. It hasn't been stable for a while. We've been having that particular issue when it comes to internet problems. And like I said, just give us value for money. Just give us value for money. Like
Nigerians are not even asking for too much.
We're not asking for too much, Ramsey. Just give us value for money.
It's running very fast, but let me be able to use it.
Exactly. And let it just sustain me for the days in which I paid for. If it's 2 weeks, let it be 2 weeks. Not 2 weeks and I'm saying 3 days or 1 month.
It depends on usage, of course.
Very true, but at the same time, it's so fast.
Those that are watching movies on social media, you don't expect.
Really, Ramsey, I don't think that should count.
It should count.
It shouldn't count because it's faster than normal.
For internet,
and you're
it's not
paying so much.
It's pay as you go. It's not unlimited. If you subscribe for the unlimited, you can watch movies and everything.
Sometimes the unlimited doesn't go through 1 month. Believe me, I know.
Okay.
Please. All right. Well, I think we should look into that. And you can find that read for more info on page 4 of The Guardian. Now, close to the foot of The Guardian newspaper, it says, Reps probe oil sector, anchor borrowers' funds, abandoned properties. And that you will find on page 4. Now, on the foot of The Guardian newspaper, it reads, Kebbi school adoption sets of military, push political backlash, regional alarms. And of course, all of that you will find on The Guardian newspaper. Please go out and get yourself a copy and be well abreast with the news making round. And next is the Nigerian Tribune. Over to you.
Well, I think that's going to be the size of the headlines time, so that we can bring up social buzz. And next, get into the next conversation immediately after social buzz. Ogochukwu Mobuno is standing by for social buzz. Stay with us.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What is your problem? What's your problem?
We're on the road to protest. And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Good morning, the Global Morning crew, and good morning to you, our viewers. I am August Kumorno. It's a good day to look at what was it.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What is your problem? What's your problem?
We're on the road to protest. And the president meets all of our demands.
Good morning, the Global Morning crew, and good morning to you, our viewers. It's a beautiful day to look at what's buzzing on the internet. It's social buzz here on Global Morning, and I'm Ogochukwu Mobno. So today we're going to be looking at a whole lot of things, but for the sake of our time, we'll just pick one of them. We've seen the PDP and the ADC conflict all over social media, but we're going to talk about one special one, which is the adopted girls in Kebbi State. So some girls schoolgirls were actually adopted in the early hours of Sunday morning. That's led to chaos in the state, and it has really been devastating for so many people, indigenes of the state, including the parents of these girls. And sometimes I get to wonder why girls. We've seen Chibok girls, and also Chibok girls happened I think in April 2014, and this one is happening now. It's all about the girls, and I am a girl child, and that's the reason why I really have to talk about this one, and it's really hurting. Anyways, there's a new development right now on the news that 2 out of the 25 girls that were adopted were able to escape, and they've still not been able to tell how they escaped and what exactly is going on, because they are still traumatized. Well, thank God. And also, the security operative there in the school was killed. Also, his daughter was actually adopted too. And the wife is still in shock. She has talked about it and said if they can actually release the daughter. She knows that the husband has been killed right now, but if they can release her daughter to her, because that's just the only daughter she has amongst the children she gave birth to, and it's really hurting to see things like that. Well, I'm not alone today in the studio. I have with me Jumai Mansing. Good morning, Jumai.
Good morning, Ogo. It's great to see you on Global Morning, and it's great to be here. But of course, this particular issue on social body is just heartbreaking. It's just unfortunate that this issue happened. And then it was so heartbreaking when I heard that woman cry out. Her husband was killed. That's the security guard, of course. And then her only daughter adopted by these bandits. It's very sad. How can one recover from that? You say it's just unfortunate. It takes us back to the Chibok girls incident again. Oh my goodness. It's just unfortunate, really. But we hope the needful is done, and the military is stepping into this particular matter.
So I'm really concerned because right now it's just a few weeks ago that the president of the USA, Donald Trump, called the country a country of concern. Yeah. And now things like this are coming up. And then we're seeing the PDP. In fact, I don't want to even go there. So right now they're beginning to see us like internationally, like really that there's a chaos. And we've tried, our leaders tried when the whole Christian genocide came up, our leaders tried to convince Donald Trump that there's nothing like that. We are
Very
peaceful and everything is going well. Only for this new development to come up. Are you not worried about it?
I am absolutely worried. It doesn't speak well of our country, Nigeria. It shows that maybe truly Donald Trump is what his speculations are true, allegedly. But at the same time, we read in the newspaper this morning that this particular issue of the U.S. coming in is all sped up by the Biafran individuals abroad who are actually talking about this genocide happening in Nigeria. But unfortunately, it's just so sad that when we heard about that incident of Donald Trump, coming in, intervening in the matters of Christians being killed, quote and unquote genocide, and left, right, and center, we see these issues coming up, crisis here and there, portraying us as, individuals who are, quote and unquote terrorists, or we are not put together when it comes to calm, tolerance, and patience. We are all out. We are violent individuals. It's not looking good, really. It is not looking good, Ogo. I will tell you for free. But we hope this is nipped in the bud as soon as possible. And with, of course, the Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Army Staff coming all out to comb the forest when it comes to this particular issue, to get to the root of this matter. Hopefully, the needful is done. And these amazing girls, of course, you mentioned you're a girl child. I'm a girl child too. So this really hits home. This is our agenda, being involved in this matter, but at the same time, hope the needful will be done and we won't see another Chibok girl case that happens. So, but I'm sure these girls will be out. Now that 2 have been escaped, so we have about 23
of them
in custody. But hopefully, Ogo, with the speculations, people are saying they're not up to 25, and people are saying it's less. People are saying it's more. I don't know. What do we?
Well, in the news we have 25, and if 2, like they say, really escaped, then we just have 23 right now.
Okay.
So we're working with the numbers right now, and we are wishing and hoping that truly the security operatives really do their best to make sure that these girls are rescued. It really, really hurts to hear that we ladies are really vulnerable in this society, and it's not supposed to be so. I think this is time for equality. I don't know why they're always very interested in the girl child, and it's really very bad. Thank you so much, Jumai Mansim, for your contribution to today's topic here on Global Morning Social Buzz. I am your host, Ogochukwu. Until I come your way next time, please stay with us as Global Morning continues.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What is your problem? What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What is your problem? What's your problem?
We're on the road to protest. And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
It's another time for us to bring you the discussion on Global Morning today. As a matter of fact, Nigerians have not really been able to conceive and give a better interpretation to what happened at the People's Democratic Party Secretariat, the fight. You know, when children fight, is something different, but when adults are fighting, it is another complicated issue. But then, when leaders, okay, people in governance fight, it becomes a national embarrassment and, of course, issue. Not just national, the international body, the global body, the world is also watching. It's a digital village, all right? You know what that means. So today, we'll be looking at, of course, party crisis and the clash, the PDP clash is what we will be looking at today. And joining me on the conversation is, of course, a legal practitioner, a political and public affairs analyst in the person of Dr. Oke Ezeogo Esquire. It's good to have you join us on the program this morning.
Good to have me here.
Good morning. It's been a while. It's good to have you join us on the conversation again.
Thank you very much.
The People's Democratic Party, we thought the wahala was over after the convention in Ibadan. So why are we having this?
Well, the truth of the matter is that we don't give what we don't have. There's no democracy in the country. There's no democracy in any of the political parties. So, when you decide to pretend as if you're a Democrat, and then you come to a situation where you want to tell anybody that cares that you're a Democrat in real terms, and you begin to exhibit some militancy in an attempt to force in the ingredients of democracy, that is what you see. That is what you see. And that's what is playing out in the PDP. We are talking of a political party that was at the peak of its height in this country. At a time, somebody said in this country that, one of the politicians said that PDP will rule this country for 60 years. And then we were thinking that at the end of 60 years, we should be having some solid foundation when it has to do with democratic arrangements and the rest of it. But of course, we're not getting that. And there is so much insincerity. There is so much lack of moral latitude. You know, no conscience, nobody's talking of... Even when you talk of political history and you talk of Machiavelli, this is not even Machiavelli. This is a theater of the absurd. You know, because, yes, everybody wants to have his way and then enthrone whoever is going to answer him, yes, sir, and all that, and all that. But I can tell you for free that what we are seeing is the hand of Esau, the voice of Esau, the voice of Jacob, and the hand of Esau. The whole arrangement. I'm not saying practically that Mr. Mr. President or the government of the day is within the center stage of the arena as far as the PDP case is concerned. But there are indications that the government of the day, the APC, they appear to be enjoying the drama going on there. And that is because, of course, they stand to gain. And of course, one of the gladiators we all know is one of their offshoots. You know, one thing I find very, very difficult is how a politician will sit down and say, I know how to bring peace, but I also know how to destroy my political party. And the only way I can bring peace is if I destroy my political party. I mean, it doesn't add up. I am not for any of the parties because none of them has shown what it takes to be a Democrat in any sense of it. I'm not for any of them. But they should go back to the drawing board. As far as I'm concerned, that party, the PDP, is as good as gone. Yeah, because with what is going to what has happened in the last couple of days, we are heading towards a situation where everything might end up in the courts. The usual system of go to court.
It's part of the reason we even decided to have you today as a legal practitioner and a political analyst. The way it's going now, all right, beginning from the convention, you know, after the convention, a lot of people felt peace has finally returned to the People's Democratic Party. But the expulsion in the first place, do you think that's in order? Because some people say it's part of the reason we're having this crisis.
No, you see, the whole thing came from a faulty foundation, like I said. One party went to court, to the Federal High Court, and said, we don't want this convention to hold. Of course, the court agreed with them. Then the other party went to Oyo State High Court and then gave them their own version of the story. And that court bought their story. Okay? To that extent, of course, these are courts of coordinated jurisdiction of the same status and all that. But the latest in time prevails. The last one that was given in Oyo State by Justice Akintola also, that one prevails over the other one. And then, of course, Lamido, former Governor Lamido of Jigawa, went to court too, because surprisingly, and I cannot make out why that angle of the story was created, because he said he wanted to be a party chairman. He wanted to buy the form, and for an inexplicable reason, he was not allowed to get this form. But I'm not aware that he's not qualified, or he was not qualified to get that form, or he was not qualified to be the chairman of the political party. And that is part of the things I'm talking about, all of them not being Democrats. Even if you are canvassing for a consensus candidate, and then somebody is now saying, I don't agree, let him test his strength. The best you can do is, using your consensus arrangement, galvanize those who agree with you, let them come to the stadium or the convention ground, and then vote accordingly. Are you getting me? So I began to feel that they probably thought that if Lamido gets the form and then was part of the process, that he could upset whatever arrangement they had. Of course, we're only seeing the personnel, but I believe there were hidden things hidden from all of us that we are not seeing. And that's the only reason why anybody could say Lamido, who was a founding father of of the political party, PDP, was a founding father, he was a two-term governor, he was a foreign affairs minister in this country, and a statesman. That he was denied the form.
He didn't even get the form, not to talk about contesting and losing or winning.
Yeah, that's absurd. It's not normal. You understand? So when you want to go to, I mean, if you go to equity, you go with your clean hands. Both parties are dirty in their maneuverings, whatever they are doing. The other party is out to ensure that that party does not see the light of the day. The other party is not helping the matter by ensuring that there is no internal democracy. You understand? So, if you watch again what played out, Lamido went to court. And the court again agreed with him and gave certain directives, order, that INEC should not monitor whatever convention, that he should be given a form. I mean, he should be allowed to contest the election and all that. Of course, the other party did not obey it. And they waited till around 2:30 p.m. of the, I think, a day before the convention, which was a Friday. Of course, from every indication, most of the courts had closed for the day and all that. And of course, the Federal High Court in Abuja had threatened and reaffirmed their position earlier in the day. Only for the same court in Oyo to now give a ruling around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Which, of course, by the way and manner courts are run, by the way and manner, the law of the, I mean, rules of court and all that, the way they act upon the orders of courts, that latest one given by the Oyo State High Court prevailed. But then again, at the convention, INEC was neither here nor there because, I mean, conflicting...
INEC didn't attend the convention.
Yes, they didn't
and Fubara didn't attend, and a few other governors.
Didn't attend. And even when they attended and took far-reaching decisions, which of course I believe is late already because it's late in the day already for them to start talking of suspending anybody, because they had all the time in the world to do this. I wish they did that earlier. Because when you're talking of anti-party, there is nothing that we've not seen that is anti-party in some of the gladiators. We've seen all of them.
In the People's Democratic Party?
Yes, of course. You understand? So, if somebody is engaging in anti-party activities and you lack the balls to call a spade, maybe by suspending the person or bringing the person to book and all that, so whose problem is it? It shows again the kind of stronghold the former Minister of the FCT has on the PDP. Because I can tell you for free, because we all know this. Over time, he has midwifed this party, he has sustained the party, he has seated a lot of persons who contested elections in 2023. Most of the senators, House of Reps members, some governors benefited immensely from him. He backrolled many of them, you know, during the elections. So it becomes a problem now for any of them to come back and say no, point at him. It's difficult. And that's what is playing out. It's not as if the FCT minister has not committed what, by every definition, is an anti-party activity. He has. And because he's not hiding it. And like I read somewhere, he said that the only condition for peace is that PDP must not field a presidential candidate in the next election.
Is that possible? How possible can that be?
If that is
so,
true,
what he's saying now is for peace to reign. In the People's Democratic Party, it means they should not have a presidential candidate.
So, what is more anti-party than that? And let me tell you,
what are his reasons?
I wouldn't know. But, of course, his support for the president. He has not hidden that. Of course, he's the arrowhead of the president's political trust within the FCT and other places like that. But what is strange here is that we've had in the past some political alliances, you know, where people, I mean, two political parties who agreed to work together had, you know, people brought from the other smaller parties to the big party, and they work together and still remain loyal to their parties.
Just the way the FCT
yes,
minister is working in the
Yes, of
APC
course.
administration.
Yes, of
and
course.
be loyal to
Yeah.
the APC.
Yes, this is strange.
Okay, that is strange.
It's strange, yeah, because he could still stay in PDP, work for APC government. His duty is to the nation, not strictly the political party that is in place. Are you getting me? His stay is at the discretion of Mr. President, who, for whatever reason, saw him as somebody who could deliver for him. But that should not rob him the loyalty to his political party, except he decides to decamp, which he is free to do. So, but the idea of one leg here, one leg there, or being in this political party and working for a government and denigrating your party is strange. I remember those days during after the 1979 election, Sheikh Shagari won the election. And they wanted a broader arrangement within the system. So they went into alliance with NPP, Nigeria People's Party. That's NPN, National Party of Nigeria, and then they went into alliance. And we had the likes of Professor Audu, I think M.T. Mbu, and a few others who went in and became some of them ministers in that government. And of course, we even had a situation where speakers of the House and Senate president and all, I think there was a way and manner they managed themselves. But we didn't see the kind of situation we're seeing today, where the person who is now seconded to another political party to go and be part of an alliance is now destroying his political party. We didn't see that. The only other thing again that is different from what we saw then was that it was party-party arrangement. Then, this one has nothing to do with party. It was the individual, the president, and his political party. In fact, what we are seeing now, APC is not even part of the arrangement between the FCT minister and the president. It is just the president and the FCT minister. Are you getting me? Because I'm not sure that PDP on their own sat down and said, okay, the FCT minister, please go ahead and work for this government. And if they did, party discipline should have made him to, tread softly and not go to the extent of insisting that his political party should not produce a candidate for the election. So, I mean, it's a murky thing and a jumbled thing. And I don't know.
But where the problem is coming from right now is the People's Democratic Party, all right?
Yes.
Having factions. Now we have, I don't even know the number of factions right now. As at yesterday, we heard that even Turaki, who was appointed as the chairman of the party from the convention, was also expelled by a faction. So now we don't even know who is who right now.
Well, what we are seeing is, like I said, is a theater of the absurd. Because you wake up today, you expel the other group. The other group wake up tomorrow and expel the other group. So it is quite difficult to say exactly who is still in the PDP, as a matter of fact. Like we all predicted, the whole thing will end up in the court. The court will have to come in to begin to dissect and validate either of the options or quash both.
But don't you think this will be a big problem for 2027?
No, we are not. You see, what I can tell you is that I don't.
Or you want to say there's no PDP again in 2027?
There will not be PDP. You see, there is something, there is an undercurrent going on in some of the states where governors decamped the APC. In some of the states, a large majority of the persons who are members of the political party, the existing political party like the PDP, well, never agreed to join APC. Some of them, at least some of them who spoke with me, never agreed to join APC.
Even the vice, you remember the vice, the deputy governor of Bayelsa State.
Many of them are,
it's even going to court, you know,
so many of
because
them,
there's an impeachment move.
I'm expecting a kind of situation where during the party congresses and nomination of candidates for the 2027 election, there will be an implosion. One is that so many people who are coerced into joining whichever party, you are not sure of their loyalty. We are looking at a situation where some of them might just be playing along to make a living because, of course, some of them actually don't have much they are doing for themselves. If they leave government, where do they go from there? Their family will have to suffer and all that. So some of them will have to stay on in government, with whichever government, so that at least they can take care of their family until the last minute. So even though we are all witnessing a wave of defections right from that back, well, good luck to APC if these people who are the campaign and defecting are real. You know, if they really mean it, if they're sincere, good luck to them. But something tells me that we've not seen the last of it. Now, look at a situation where in most of the states you have an existing structure of APC. And then some people over the years have tried to prop up that party, sacrifice so much to, you know, keep the party going. Like in Delta, for instance. And then all of a sudden, the governor from the other side say, I'm not a member of this. And then you now push the other group aside and then handed over the structure of the party to the new entrant. Question: how do you protect the interests of those who were there already?
Before they came.
Before they came. Two, how do you protect the interests of those that the governors are coming in with? Because, of course, they have loyalists that they will want to compensate either through elections or through appointments, one way or the other. So how do you reconcile this? So it's not just within the framework of all the euphoria we're seeing that, oh, this man has joined this party, the governor has jumped into this and all that. Are they really sincere? Are their followers really sincere? I'm suspecting many of them are not. And that is where the problem might come.
That is in 2027.
Before 2027.
All right.
As soon as the primaries and congresses starts.
Well, I think it's going to be an explosive 2027 as far as the general election is concerned. Now, the People's Democratic Party is having internal crisis. So as it is right now, we don't know where it's going to end. PDP factions are clashed over leadership positions. We don't know, as if you ask me now, like someone was jokingly asking a question yesterday to say, tell me, who is the chairman of the People's Democratic Party? And you can't really place who it is, all right? Because as it is right now, we have about 3 factions, and each of them in their own mind feel they have someone sharing the factions. Let's go on a quick break. When we return, we'll look at more issues from the problems in our democracy. Stay with us.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What is your problem? What's your problem?
We're on the road to protest. And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What is your problem? What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
of the crisis yesterday, one of the leaders made a statement and he told the press, he said, Christian genocide in Nigeria is not just the only problem that we have in Nigeria, that even our democracy needs to be saved, that the United States should not just focus on saving the people facing terrorism and, of course, Christian genocide alone, that they should also think of how, of course, democracy can be saved in Nigeria, that democracy is in danger. I was watching the video yesterday and I was like, wow, this is not a good image for Nigeria. This is the same country where the president of the United States named Nigeria, called Nigeria names which all Nigerians are not in support of, and declaring Nigeria as a state, as a country of a particular concern. And some of the authorities are frowning against it, even though the federal government have said diplomatic talks are on. Now, there is a cry for saving democracy in Nigeria. Now, all this crisis happening in the People's Democratic Party is in the media space. The world has become a global village, a 21st century digital world. Now, what do you think will be the implication of this PDP crisis and the show of power tussle that has resulted to that fight we saw yesterday, and of course, the call by one of the leaders to save democracy in Nigeria? What is the implication of this crisis on our own democracy as a people?
Well, like I said from the beginning, you can't give what you don't have, because the whole democratic arrangement was they were founded on deceit. They were founded on insincerity, because those who professed in the past to be Democrats in real terms today are becoming more dictatorial than you can imagine. I think democracies ended up in this country when President Jonathan left government. I think that was the last time we had democracy in this country. Okay, to the extent that President Buhari was not interfering in affairs of political parties and the rest of them, okay, fine. He allowed them to sort out themselves in their own way. And give it to him again that throughout his regime, he gives you a job to do, he allows you to do your job. He wasn't bothering anybody. You know, call it any name you can, but at least people who worked with him, who worked in his government, appears more interested in their loyalty to him than any other thing. I don't want to get into what they did with the rest of us. You understand? But you see, what baffles me is to think that most of the people we are seeing today, we have today as our political leaders, are people who have traversed the whole of, so many countries. They have gone to Europe. They have, some of them, in fact, 80% of them are living in Europe, America, and the rest of the world. And they see how government works. They see how democracy works. They have seen how party politics works. You know? But surprisingly, what has not been happening in our democratic system in the past has reared up. The strategy now is destabilize the next political party. And because of how low some of our politicians are, somebody comes to you and ask you, hey, you went to, a lot of people went to a meeting yesterday, and people said you want to dethrone me and all that. Come, I don't want you to go to that meeting. Take this. Go to the press and tell them that you're not part of that arrangement. You see some of them doing it. So, what we had in 1979 during the days of Bafemi Awolowo in Unity Party of Nigeria, Aminu Kano in PRP, People Redemption Party, Great Nigerian People's Party of, what do you call him, Ibrahim Waziri. And then, of course, NAP, Nigerian Advanced Party of Braithwaite. We are not having it today. Nobody was interested in what was happening in the other political party. In fact, the competition was quite cool and fine. I mean, campaign everywhere, choose your candidates wherever you want. There was no acrimony about that. Let me shock you that somebody like Obafemi Awolowo from the southwest went to the southeast and nominated Philip Umadi as his presidential candidate, as his vice presidential candidate. You understand? And we had the likes of Aminu Kano. I think Aminu Kano went for SG Ikuku or so. And we had a situation where the Great Nigerian People's Party won Borno and Gongola, I think, where Alhaji Goni was the governor on the other side and Barde was the governor on the other side. And because of the way Ibrahim Waziri played his politics, they nicknamed him Politics Without Bitterness. That was the way he played his politics. He had no problem with anybody. He professes whatever he needed to profess. People voted for him. And then he won his environment and all of that. And in Kano, we had Abubakar Karimi winning Kano State, the home base of the Talakawas of the north. And then we had Balarabe Musa winning Kaduna, while the rest of the states went, like Niger went to MPN, Awal Ibrahim, and the rest of them, they all went that way.
And it was all peaceful.
It was peaceful.
So why are we having something different
now? You go to the south, you see a place like River State, you see Mwefe Kilo and the rest of them winning the election and MPN ticket. You understand? Even when the likes of Zik was at the helm of affairs of the NPP, who won the Igbo Heartland, Imo and Anambra then, with Mbakwe and Jim Obodo as governors and the rest of them. But MPN had a scattered, patronage here and there. And then MPP under Azikiwe had a strong showing in Lagos with the likes of Theo Benson and Adediro Ogunsanya and the rest of them. So it was fun. There was no bitterness, So the interest in destroying the fellow competitors was not on the card then. But I'm sorry to say that from what we are seeing, it looks like the government party is not interested in having a competitor. I'm not saying for sure that they are the ones responsible for all the problems in these parties, but there are signs that the government party is cashing in on the low level of our political etiquette, to ensure that other political parties don't function.
But would this crisis have international implication as it has to do with diplomacy? Like this political leader is crying to other countries to save democracy.
It's only ridiculous as a people that are not serious. Are you getting me?
So the international body will ridicule Nigeria.
Well, it's not a matter of ridiculing. They will simply know that we are not a serious people. Let me tell you, like I said, when a foundation is built on insincerity and deceit, that's what you'll see as the springboard. It comes up this way. Because prior to 2015 election, I was one of the persons that believed so much that if we have the likes of the present president and his friends, of course, we had the likes of him, Tunde Bakare, we had so many of them who professed to be Democrats and who were shouting to the highest wherever that Jonathan must go on the basis of whatever. Fine. Protests were arranged here and there. It was easy to mount anywhere at Ojota and then start saying whatever you want to say. Bring people together and carry your placards, and the government was tolerating all of that. Unfortunately, and regrettably too, today, you can't do that freely in this country anymore without being harassed or arrested. It doesn't add up. So our expectation that the coming of this government would deepen democracy and it appears a ruse because we are not seeing any of it. And it was like, well, without being so pessimistic, it was just like the government deceived us into believing in them to unleash the dictatorial tendencies we are seeing today.
All right. Well, I think we've spoken so much. It means instead of the belief that Nigerians had earlier that this administration was going to deepen democracy in Nigeria, it has made it more shallow than Nigerians expected.
There's no democracy anywhere. Where is the democratic stuff? Where is it? Somebody collects your thing and say, go to court.
All right. Well, thank God you're a legal practitioner. A lot of people have said the legal practitioners are part of politics in Nigeria now, but then I think that will be a topic for another day, as our time is already up. Many thanks, Doctor, for joining us on Global Morning today. Well, this is the size of the first conversation this morning. We will return after this break to bring you the second conversation as Jumai Mansin is standing by.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What is your problem? What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Picture name. Topic picture. You've seen it, school.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What is your problem? What's your problem?
We're on the road to protest. And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning. This is Global Morning.
Security remains one of the most pressing challenges confronting Nigeria. Now, it's affecting every sector of society, from business to education, yes, with emphasis education, to transportation, agriculture, and community life. Now, despite ongoing efforts by security agencies, the persistence of threats such as banditry, kidnapping, insurgency, armed robbery, and communal conflicts continues to undermine national stability. Now, insecurity drawbacks, which is the discuss of today, to society efforts in Nigeria, we're going to highlight the many obstacles that weaken the nation's progress towards building a safe and peaceful environment. Now, these drawbacks include limited resources, inadequate intelligence gathering, poor coordination among security agencies, and slow judicial processes. Now, porous borders and insufficient community cooperation. Now, additionally, let's talk about social economic factors such as unemployment, poverty, and limited access to education. This also contributes to the cycle of insecurity. Now, for some, this could encourage stakeholders, government, security institutions, communities, and citizens to really examine the root causes of insecurity and then identify practical solutions. It can also emphasize the importance of collaboration, information sharing, and trust building to strengthen security operations. Now, ultimately, addressing the drawbacks to Nigeria's security efforts is essential for creating a safer country where people can live freely, businesses can grow, and communities can thrive. Children can go to school without being afraid. Now, today I am being joined by Prince Kelvin Fineface. He's a security and energy consultant, public good advocate. Do not go anywhere. Global Morning with the second discuss of the day continues shortly. Stay tuned.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest
right, you are welcome back, and it's Global Morning on Global Television, and this is the second discuss of the day. And like I mentioned before, I am being joined by Prince Kelvin Fineface. He is a security expert and, of course, a public good advocate. Good morning, Prince. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Timaya. I'm fine, thank you.
And thank you for joining me in such short notice. Thank you so much. Now, looking at this particular topic, talking about insecurity, drawbacks to security efforts in Nigeria. Now, we're going to be looking at the many obstacles that weaken the nation's progress towards building a safe and peaceful environment. What are these drawbacks that you see when it comes to the military, when it comes to communal security and all of that? And we'll quickly delve into what took place in Kebbi State, the 25 schoolgirls that were kidnapped, and of course, Donald Trump coming to interfere. All of these things encompass. Let's quickly talk about it, Kevin.
Well, there's something I think we miss as a nation, or the citizens of this country miss as a nation, which is that insecurity currently has a type of ongoing concern relationship. What that simply means is that there are people who are feeding fast from the number of insecurity that we have in the different parts of the country. And as such, it has become more like a business to some. And that is why you see the likes of Sheikh Gumi, oftentimes, wandering around the place of let's accommodate these people. There are people like us, let's negotiate with them, and he oftentimes presents himself as a negotiator because that's what makes him more relevant, to make more money at the same time, get these people on his side. You also have people who provide logistics for these guys. I give you a case in mind now. The Brigadier General that was recently, allegedly, said to have been killed by these bandits, even though the military had to come out with a statement for now. But we saw text messages that, were shared, indicating internal sabotage, indicating, some form of, complicity with people inside. If you had indicated his location and later was captured, killed by this group, then it tells you that there are people inside, which means that initially the ambush was not just an ambush that happened by happenstance, but was an ambush as a result of insiders' information to undermine the group. So what is going on internally is an indication of this ongoing concern that I just mentioned. People are living far from it. So we also saw the Donald Trump made a statement, a tweet. He only made a tweet. And the tweet made Nigeria so. The next day we saw, Wiz by the military, kidnappings, a bit stop, rescue mission, killing of some of these bandits, papers, and all of that. We saw those moves just by one tweet from a president that is more than, 2,000 kilometers away, about 2,000 plus 1,000 kilometers away from us. We saw a change. Then suddenly we are getting, these kind of drawbacks. Why are we getting drawbacks? It shows also there are those who truly are wishing that the U.S. Army comes in to rescue Nigeria, so they will fuel the crisis more. There are also those who are looking at it as a way of making more money because emergency preparedness in Nigeria is zero. So what happens is that whenever there's crisis, it's a window for them to now come up with emergency budgeting because that's the only time you can actually vote for cash without going through the procurement process under the guise of emergency. But preparedness, we are zero. We don't have that in place.
You know what, Kevin, Mr. Kevin, I want to ask a very serious question. I don't know if this is a bother to you or it's just me or most Nigerians who are wondering. You are a security expert. Now, the abduction of those schoolgirls in Kebbi State that took place with the killing of their principal and, of course, the killing, of course, of the security guard that his daughter also was kidnapped in the cause of these terrorists invading the school. Would you say that this is a second Chibok experience in which we're going to have when we have, well, looking about inadequate intelligence gathering, poor coordination in our schools when it comes to these hits, these places where we call hits by these bandits, especially when it involves vulnerable schoolgirls in boarding schools?
Well, it's not related in the sense that Chibok was an orchestrated, act to undermine the government of the day in order to make it look bad, and also had an international template attached to it, because when the girls were kidnapped, they were still seen by satellite images. Efforts were not made to go rescue them because Americans had the information, but they didn't share that information.
But these are all speculations,
Now, well, allegedly, let's put it that way. Then we saw the Nigerian government wanted to go rescue these girls. Oh, they looked at collateral damage that was going to take place, and that would let them be. Then we also saw the frustration caused by people of that region, especially the vice president who was there, the governor, didn't really help as much as expected of somebody who's indigenous or citizens have been kidnapped. And you also now also have that religious angle, because the girls, most of them were all Christians. They were kidnapped, and as such was also seen as a plus for jihadism, because they were either, traded as slaves or given out to other wives and as sex slaves also. We saw all of that happen. But this case now is a different case. It's also more like what I said earlier, that there are people internally who see this vehicle, who want to increase the presence of the American government in Nigeria by taking certain actions to portray the need for that, intervention. And there are those also who are trying to also undermine the government of the day. How is it possible that you kidnap 25 plus girls?
2 have already escaped, by the way. 2 found their way, so they're 23.
It could also be the one that escaped was also let loose just to go give information. Just a way to. It's possible, very possible, because this is a game. We're in a theater, right? And so this is at once in one kind of zone. The girls' escape is at once in 2. You understand? That's how I'm going to put it. So let me land with that thought I wanted to give an out.
Okay.
You notice that this whole thing has happened. How was it possible for these guys to move with these girls? How many vehicles did they use? Most cases, these guys use motorcycles in their numbers. Now, if they move with motorcycles and nobody saw them, nobody raised an alarm from the school, what was the safe school measures put in place? Having noticed and experienced Chibok, the international community came in $110 million donated for safe school initiative. Were they implemented? And what was the implementation plan that was put in place? What kind of programs and projects did they put in place in order to safeguard, protect these kids in schools, to ensure that they go to schools? Don't forget the fact that Boko Haram frowns at Western education, which means there would have been IT security measures put in place to ensure people go to school and safely so, right? So if those measures are not put in place, that tells you the value of life, the importance placed in our security architecture mechanism. Why was it possible for them to just come in their numbers to kidnap these girls? It wasn't that the connivance, some people initiated this whole thing, let's go and kidnap these girls, let's call for ransom, because now people don't necessarily work anymore. They do kidnapping as a business. They have negotiators, they have financiers, they have operation guys, and all of that. So it's a big thing. I don't want to look at it from the surface. I want to ask questions that will actually help us to understand the dynamics of what's going on.
When we talk about drawbacks of security in Nigeria, let us look at the slow judicial processes and, of course, our porous borders. How does that affect some of these drawbacks that we have in performing our duties, especially when it comes to security agents and communal security involved in this when it comes to protecting lives and property?
Say that again.
I said, let us look at our judicial processes now. How does it contribute to some of the drawbacks that we have in insecurities in Nigeria? Let me just put it lightly.
Let me just cut you. I think I get the point now.
Okay.
We have a very, how do I put it? On your mandate, which has stand kind of judiciary.
True.
We just saw recently where that happened. The judiciary was, we are also singing on your mandate, which has stand. The first time in the history of this country, we've seen how the decline and the loss of hope to the common man, the judiciary. So you have arrests. We have, during the last administration, Buhari's time, Dubai released list of terrorist financiers. Some of them are in government. Some of them have religious positions in their lives.
All speculations, Prince.
No,
because no names, there's no face to the name. So these for so much that we know, they are all speculations. So,
I know that you're trying not to sound like you're supporting what I'm saying. What I'm saying, these are public information. I'm not giving you something that comes from me. No, Dubai released a list of terrorist financiers. There were pictures of those involved. Their names, we knew them. There was a publication that was done by Nigerian media also, showing us the names and pictures of these persons. Arrests have not been made, prosecutions have not been made to the understanding of the general public. That tells you something. Now, those who were also arrested...
And then if arrests have not been made, Prince, I'm only trying to tell you, that means they are all speculations.
No, I mean, if the arrests have been made to the public knowledge, then arrests have been made to the public knowledge. If they have been made, then let us know. There was a time that Senator Dima also was arrested as a result of terrorist relationship. I'm sure you're aware. But it's working free. Why? How? So we need to understand that the Nigerian judiciary needs to upgrade itself to meet up with the current realities. Because security is the bone of peace and economic activity in any given nation. And that also results in the place of judiciary. But you see, when the judiciary finds technicality to let people loose that are supposed to be in jails, then of course there's going to be a problem. We've seen scenarios of people who have been arrested for terror crimes. They're released one way or the other, either by jailbreak or by the courts finding fault in the prosecution processes, and they go back and kill those who reported them. We've seen those kind of scenarios as a result of the failure of the judiciary doing what needs to be done. We've seen lawyers are also aiding this crime in the sense that they take money from these criminals, find a way to find a judge to bribe, allegedly so that at the end they get good or release or lesser, convictions, and then they go scot-free because of poor, investigative processes. They find those technical loopholes to release these people. So those are drawbacks, that oftentimes affect, proper security management in the country. And I think we can do better. Like I said, Nigeria's case is a dynamic situation that don't necessarily need just that approach of gloss over.
Now, talking about some of our drawbacks, let's look at our porous borders. I think we've not been able to nip that in the bud when it comes to how open our borders are, the free entry that are there with all of these bandits trooping into Nigeria. What's your take when it comes to that, Prince?
Because your line was back, I didn't get that. What did you say?
No, I said let's look at our porous borders, for instance, that these bandits easily just stroll into Nigeria and do what they want. How do you think, what's your take when it comes to our porous borders in trying to nip that in the bud and trying to curtail that aspect of our nation?
So why do we have porous borders?
And why have we not been able to at least manage it when it comes to insecurity in Nigeria?
I've spent in my adult life and since working for government at the time, which is like almost 30 years plus, we've always had porous borders. Now, there's a peculiarity that we have to also look at. In the northern region of this country, all our borders in the region are actually very porous. In the southern part of this country, all our borders are properly manned. To an extent, the borders in Calabar is manned. We do not have that influx of people coming in and out just like that. The borders in that connects Taraba to Adamawa, some form of security measures are put in place some kind of way. But if not borders in Katsina, Borno, Sokoto, Kebbi, the part of Niger, both borders are porous. Why? Why is it that they are porous? Because, I mean, there's that, should I call it family tie state? So because people from Niger are also people in Nigeria. So they intermarried there. In fact, we knew at the time that the late Buhari is also from Maradi or so, from the Niger. And as such, we had projects that were done. Railroad was done to that extent, and projects were established in Niger. So that gives you an idea why we have porous borders and why it's easy for these criminal elements to come in. Most of the fact that they are also used for political gains. In 2014, we listened to Baraje, if I pronounce it properly, an APC shifting, who told us how they imported mercenaries to come defend, in quotes, their mandate. Should Buhari not win the election, then there will be mayhem caused in the country. We also heard from El-Rufai. He also made the same statement. We've had that scenario where we've imported mercenaries from outside across the West African regions to come and destabilize the nation for political gains. So the borders are porous for political reasons and also for ethnic religious interests. Must sound it so, because there is a sentiment that goes with religious interests that is basically killing us as a country. There's a type of jihadism that is taking place that further strengthens the religious interests of the Muslims. Sorry to say it, and that's truth, because these people come in with the pursuit of jihadism, then later they end up creating some collateral damage that affect the Muslims themselves. So genocide, as we speak, has been taking place for a very long time in this country. Southern Katsina, most communities have been sacked, completely sacked, and new guys are in there that are not the original, because in Benue we're having the same thing. So we cannot be playing to the gallery and pretending about these realities. That's the truth. The truth is that there's a jihadism taking place on one hand, there is an economic, criminal element taking place on the other hand. There's also the sabotage taking place on the other hand. People imported some of these guys to this country for political reasons. Those people should be held accountable and be prosecuted. Then by so doing, we cannot have a way to flush out these criminal elements that are now embedded in our society, causing this mayhem, kidnapping people. Did you see what happened recently? There was an interview that was, not interview, there was a killing that took place, a killing of a police officer in Katsina State. The same guy that was killed is uniform taken, won by this terrorist element to a meeting called by the government for peace sake. And the guy wore the police officer's, the late police officer's uniform with his name tag on it. Nothing was done. So that tells you the kind of country that we're in. We saw them, I saw a video of them moving to a wedding in their numbers and with their weapons. I saw another video of them, boasting so well on how they operate. Not that they know them, they know where they live. But because some of these guys were recruited to carry out some political moves, it's difficult for those who are recruited to go out to speak publicly because they lack the moral right to speak. Now, we're having more splinter groups. Why are we having splinter groups from this terrorist group? Because they have the benefit. Some of them have said that, look, it's better for them to work alone than to work with the politicians. So they break away to form their own groups. When they break the they can also get a better kill. Because when they get this kill, they don't get enough of it, so they have to break away from the groups. Why are we having more splinter groups in the north? If you go to the south, you're also having the same thing happening. In the Middle West, in Middle Belt, you're having the same thing happening with kidnappings taking place in the numbers. Killings and kidnappings. You can't even travel from Abuja to Port Harcourt without having your heart in your hands to asking for mercy and prayer and all of that. It shouldn't be so. We can solve our insecurity problem as a country.
But I want to ask a question, Prince. I know you've said a lot when you talk about we solving our insecurity problems, but do you think that security agents, when you talk about the military, when you talk about the government, stakeholders who are involved, community, you and I as a citizen, we've not really examined the root causes of insecurity. And of course, let's see if we can even identify practical solutions. Do you think we've done that enough?
Well, you see, what is the root cause of insecurity? When there's a failure of government and poor governance, it breeds room for a type of insecurity, which is that you have economic insecurity, you have religious insecurity, you have political insecurity, you have also, so what I call mere social norm insecurity. If governance is seen to be good, and effectively so, it means that there will be room for justice, there will be fairness, there will be equity, there will be equality, and there will be accountability. When you have this 4+1 principle working effectively, then you have an egalitarian society. It means people will be busy working, doing to productively so, without necessarily thinking of how to commit crime. Now, true governance ensures that there's energy supply, there is basic infrastructure, there is, good health care service, there is good educational system put in place. That's what true governance is. Then you now also see that there will be that equitable distribution of our commonwealth. There will be fairness that's given to everybody to ensure that people who are qualified for position are getting those positions. There will be equality before the law. No big man, no small man. Everybody will be equal before the law. That's what true governance is. In so doing, people will not be feeling aggrieved to want to carry up arms to think of how to secede from a country like we found with the Biafra case. In so doing, you don't find people who want to say they want to pursue religious interests. And say they want their own type of government or the theocracy, a type of theocracy to want to be implemented. By so doing, you will also have people who will be productively engaged and not be thinking of petty crimes.
Very true. Very true.
My neighborhood here, I live in City View, Taco, just 2 days ago, Haprobas entered our estates. Why would they come in? Because this is the season also for them to begin to try their luck to see what they can get. So estates need to begin to reinforce their security and ensure those who are working for them as security guards are properly vetted,
very true,
monitored, because they too can be the ones that will commit these crimes, like I experienced 2 years ago.
All right.
I experienced that in my neighborhood. I was robbed 2 times. 4 times they came, succeeded 2 times because of internal, faults. Those who came to rob me were part of those who were working for us as security guards.
All right.
So what I'm saying is, in essence, is simple. Let's see how we can focus on true governance. And the best way to do that is for the media and government agencies responsible for orientation, then the Independent National Electoral Commission, to properly educate the Nigerian electorate.
Exactly.
That the voter's card is the most powerful tool in the democracy.
Of course,
that legitimizes the office and the occupier of that office. If we understand this principle, we know that the voter is a king. They will have the right social contract to put the right people into office.
All right. Okay, Prince. All right, Prince Kelvin Fineface, of course, thank you so much for being a part of Global Morning and the security, the second phase of the program, Global Morning, talking about insecurity, drawbacks of securities in Nigeria. Thank you so much for being a part of the program. And Prince Kelvin Fineface, he's a security and energy consultant, public good advocate. Thank you so much for being a part of the program. And of course, at about this point, we'll be wrapping it up on Global Morning. Do not go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important